Welcome to the deep dive and welcome to vpod.ai. Our mission here is, as always, to take all that complex information out there, really distill it down into those vital nuggets, and give you a shortcut to being genuinely well informed. Today, we're taking a really fascinating dive into the world of, well, one of the most iconic names in entertainment, Nintendo. You've pulled together some incredible insights for us, focusing on their recent, really monumental developments. And what we're going to unpack today, it isn't just about fun and games, is it? It's about the huge impact, the seismic impact, really, a single product launch can have. And also how a company, a unique strategy, helps sustain decades of success in a super competitive field. Before we jump right into Nintendo's world, though, just a quick word. This deep dive is sponsored by Stonefly. They're your trusted solution provider in enterprise storage, backup disaster recovery, hyper-converged VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox cluster, AI servers, SA365, which is a turnkey security appliance, public and private cloud too. You can check out stonefly.com for more info.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, I think, is just how quickly the whole landscape can shift with a new release. Nintendo's a masterclass in this. So we're going to explore the immediate market reaction to their latest launch, and then connect that directly to Nintendo's broader strategy, which is really enduring. This deep dive should help you understand the powerful, sometimes subtle forces at play behind, one of the biggest names in gaming.
Okay, let's get into it then. The buzz, the clamor around Nintendo's new console, the Switch 2, it's just been off the charts. Fever pitch, really. It's only just been released this month, and the impact seems immediate. So walk us through those initial launch numbers. What are they telling us?
Absolutely. So the Switch 2, it's the successor, obviously, to the original Switch from back in 2017. It was unveiled back in January, so there was months of anticipation building. It hit the shelves this month, and the demand has just been staggering. I mean, genuine shortages in some key markets. We've even seen stores doing special opening hours just to manage the crowds.
Really? Special hours?
Yeah. And Nintendo's already reported some truly impressive figures. 3.5 million units of the Switch 2 sold in just the first 4 days after launch.
Wow, hold on. 3.5 million in 4 days. That's huge for a console launch, isn't it?
It is. It's approaching 1 million consoles a day right out of the gate. That kind of velocity, it tells you a lot about the pent-up demand and, the brand's appeal.
What does that signal, though, beyond just hunger? Does it say anything about maybe Nintendo's supply strategy? They're known for being quite careful there.
That's a really sharp point. Yes, it shows immense demand, but these shortages, they also kind of hint at Nintendo's more, let's say, conservative approach to supply. Historically, they often seem to prefer building hype, maintaining that premium price, sometimes by, deliberately undersupplying the initial demand.
A calculated risk.
Exactly. It often pays off. It avoids costly overstocking, ensures that sales momentum keeps going long term. It suggests they're pretty confident in sustained demand, not just a launch day burst.
That makes sense. So when you hear numbers like 3.5 million, especially with maybe a controlled supply, it makes you wonder about the longer term. Nintendo's put out its own forecasts. Are they playing it safe, being modest, or are analysts seeing something else entirely, maybe more optimistic?
Yeah, that's the big question about expectations. Nintendo itself, they forecast sales of 15 million units for the Switch 2. That's for their fiscal year ending March 2026. So the period ending next March gives us a clear view of their near-term thinking.
Okay, 15 million.
Right. But interestingly, many analysts actually see this as, remarkably modest. They anticipate Nintendo will achieve significantly higher numbers. It signals really substantial confidence in the console's long-term success, its ability to capture market share way beyond Nintendo's own outlook.
So the market thinks the momentum is just starting.
Pretty much. They likely expect strong software sales to keep driving hardware sales, too.
Okay, let's connect these huge sales numbers directly to the financial side, the stock. This is where innovation hits the bottom line, right? This launch hasn't just been about units sold. It's triggered a massive rally for Nintendo's shares. Tell us about that financial movement.
Oh, absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the Switch 2 release has directly fueled a substantial, I'd even say dramatic, rally in Nintendo shares. Just this year alone, their shares have jumped a remarkable 46%.
46%?
Yes. And to put that in perspective, that surge translates to adding more than $39 billion to the company's stock market value, just in a few months.
Wow. $39 billion.
It highlights immense investor confidence, not just in the launch sales, but in the Switch 2's potential to drive future revenue. Maintain that strong market position. It's like a halo effect.
Halo effect.
Yeah. Strong initial demand validates consumer trust, that fuels analyst upgrades, and that creates this positive feedback loop of investor confidence.
That is a staggering amount of value. And this surge, it's not totally out of the blue, is it? Nintendo has this history of console success. Thinking about the original Switch, which was monumental,
Yeah.
how does this new one fit into that legacy? What does that history tell us about what investors expect now?
That's right. The original Switch, launched March 2017, holds a really significant place. It's their second most successful console ever. Sold over 152 million units as of March this year.
152 million. Incredible.
And its appeal was fundamentally its hybrid nature, wasn't it? That flexibility to play on a TV or take it portable. It had that custom Tegra chip co-developed with NVIDIA that allowed seamless switching, low latency, basically with two consoles in one.
Captured both markets.
Exactly, home and mobile. That was key to its longevity. So investors are clearly hoping the Switch 2 will replicate that enduring success, maybe even surpass it, given the precedent. And looking back even further, the financial impact has been just profound. Since the original Switch came out in March 2017, Nintendo shares have surged nearly 470%.
470%.
Almost, yes. That added over $81 billion to the company's market cap over that time.
81 billion.
It just underscores the power of their console strategy. Their unique approach to hardware, combined with their software, it yields huge long-term returns. It's about consistency, brand loyalty.
Okay, so beyond the sales, beyond the stock surge, what does this all point to for Nintendo's bigger strategy? It feels like so much of their success isn't just the hardware, but those characters, those worlds they build. It's more than the box, isn't it?
That's absolutely the key. Nintendo's IP, their intellectual property, it's not just a portfolio. It's like a multi-generational cultural engine. They consistently boost console success with games featuring these incredibly strong franchises. Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon. Iconic characters, brands, these aren't just popular. They're foundational to the whole business model. They create this powerful ecosystem.
So you buy the console to get access to those worlds.
Precisely. It builds this incredibly sticky franchise flywheel, as some call it. And it goes way beyond just the games on the console itself. Nintendo has strategically used its IP, licensing it out for, well, everything. Blockbuster movies, like the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which was a huge global hit.
Right, I saw that.
And immersive theme park experiences, like Super Nintendo World, bringing those worlds to life. This diversification then circles back. It boosts the success and appeal of their core games by broadening brand recognition, affection across different media.
It all feeds back into itself.
Exactly. It's a powerful synergistic approach that honestly very few other companies can replicate.
That's a great way to put it, a virtuous cycle powered by IP. And it's not just resting on laurels, right? They keep injecting new stuff, like that recent game reveal.
Indeed. It brings us right to a specific new release, the Donkey Kong Bonanza. This game was revealed in a Nintendo Direct, dated June 18, 2025. It promises players the chance to explore a vast underground world by smashing your way through it.
Classic Donkey Kong.
Exactly. It's not just another game announcement. It's a perfect example of how they keep leveraging beloved characters like DK to drive excitement, keep engagement high within their ecosystem. Reminds everyone of the breadth of Nintendo's universe. No IP gathers dust. They refresh offerings while leaning on that familiarity, that trust.
Keeps the momentum going with anticipated titles that tap into nostalgia. Smart.
Very smart.
Wow, what a deep dive into Nintendo's world. We've seen how the Switch 2 launch fueled that multi-billion-dollar stock rally, how initial sales are setting records, and how Nintendo strategically uses its iconic franchises, its IP, to build this whole entertainment empire way beyond just consoles. It's really a masterclass in sustained relevance.
Yeah, we've really unpacked how one product launch can have such a huge ripple effect, from sales figures right through to stock performance, and it's all underpinned by that consistent strategy. Beloved characters, engaging gameplay. They've really mastered balancing hardware innovation with honoring their traditions.
So for you, listening today, here's maybe a final thought to chew on. Beyond the impressive sales, the stock gains, what does Nintendo's continued ability to innovate while leaning so heavily on classic characters and established worlds? What does that tell us? What does it tell us about the enduring power of nostalgia, of familiar experiences in this tech landscape that's always changing? Does their success maybe challenge the idea that constant radical change is always the only way?
It definitely raises an important question, doesn't it? About that delicate balance between pushing tech boundaries and honoring tradition to drive that really sustained success, especially in entertainment. Perhaps familiarity, when it's coupled with really clever design, is actually a more powerful disruptor than just pure novelty sometimes.
Something to think about. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning. And remember, if you're looking for incredible storage solutions to protect your data, Stonefly is offering their 100 TB immutable and air-gapped SSO NAS for just $8,995. Check them out at stonefly.com.